Hello, everybody. It is Teany Hidalgo, and I am here with Garonne Decossard. Did I say that properly?
Yes, you did.
You say it better. Say it again.
Garonne Decossard.
Garonne Decossard.
And
Oh,
then you go like this.
and then you go.
Really?
I love it. I love it. Welcome, everybody, to the Sanese Wellness Academy's Purpose with Passion series, encouraging you to discover your passions because they will lead you to your purpose. So welcome. So the question I have for everyone today, and that I want to ask you a very personal question, if you will give me a moment of your time, is have you ever suffered from severe scalp issues, hair loss, or alopecia? Because today we're going to talk all about that, and we're going to introduce you to ways that you can actually help solve that problem with the beautiful Garonne, who is here
Hi.
today. So first, let me make sure that everything is operating properly. Okay, cool. We are live. We are good to go. Okay, cool. So thank you so much, Garonne. Wait, say it again. Say it again.
Garonne.
Garonne, the French way.
It's okay. No one says it that way. I just have fun saying it. Except for my
I
family
love it.
sometimes.
I love it. I love it. All right. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about how to solve scalp issues. But this is all about figuring out your purpose with passion. So today we're going to talk to her about how she turned a personal plight, a personal situation into something that, turned around, basically. That she
Yes.
turned into something positive for her own personal life, and that she actually wants to share with you guys today. So I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So first, let me give a little intro on who Garonne is. Now, I think I'm saying it with a Spanish accent, but that's okay.
Yes, that's fine. French
So
and Spanish, they're sister languages.
they are. They're all Romance languages. So, all right. So Garonne Decossard is the creator of Ronnie's Oil, a light ambrosial, all-natural hair oil geared towards maintaining the health of your hair and scalp. So here's the backstory. So faced with her own diagnosis of scarring alopecia in 2012, she reached with her own knowledge of the power of essential oils and scalp massage. And you guys know that I'm big on like natural, right? She used that essential oils and scalp massage to reverse the progression of her own condition. And she used her background in chemical engineering and her knack for creating health supporting products to formulate this beautiful line that she has. She's created recently, taking the jump from, actually she's made the jump from corporate America to following her passion of creating this unique line of products by with emerging science with the power of botanicals, which I love, actually. I love that you're using botanicals in your products. And her products are actually now sold online and at many locations in the tri-state area. And her hopes is to inspire others to feel really empowered in their healthcare choices and trigger the inner feeling we all have that all we need is to heal ourselves in basically with whatever's available in nature. So first of all, thank you again for joining me, and thank you for creating this line, because first of all, I'm a super ridiculous, you guys know me, for those of you who know me, advocate of homeopathic meds and natural remedies. First of all, we grew up on, you were born in Haiti, right?
I was born in Haiti, raised there until I was 14.
Right. So we grew up on the same island. We were born on the same island, I should say. So we brought back a lot of the homeopathic stuff that probably our grandparents, great-grandparents, came with from history, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that was already in our blood. So I know, I love that you've been able to use that idea, that concept of our history, right? To formulate this beautiful product that you have. So thank you for doing that. So that said, tell me, first, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Tell us how you started your journey. What pushed you? How did you discover this thing? Tell us more about this situation that happened with you.
I would say all my life, my early 20s, from my early 20s on, I've been very much cleaving to the natural, a whole natural way of living, be it making diet changes or even I'm just like a little kitchen kitchen mama medicine person. I'm always making something. I'm always making something in the kitchen. I'm always trying a new recipe. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is I'm always fascinated by how my whenever something would happen to me, my mom would always have a remedy that she used to do back home that she would try to get me to do. So I'm big into teas. I drink tea almost every night. I know a little remedy for anything, a cold, a fever, you can't sleep at night. That's just how I've been. So when I used to have locks. I used to have, my hair was natural all my life, most of my life. I only had a perm for like 3 years, but I had locks for 7 years. And 2009, 2010, I started seeing that my locks were thinning at the roots, and they were thinning on top. And then one thing I would advise anyone to do whenever you see something, find out. Like, don't deny it. If you see something, just find out what the root cause is. So I tried to figure out what was going on. And was it the color in my hair? Was it the over twisting of locks? Because I wasn't twisting that much, but maybe my scalp was responding to it. Anyway, long story short, when it became too much to bear, I actually just woke up in the middle of the night and cut all my locks to see what was going on. And I cut all my locks. I had that's when I discovered a giant bald spot in the middle of my head because it was covered under the hair
Oh,
and it was starting to get smooth. So I was devastated. So first thing I did, I went to the dermatologist. So you will see that another thing about my whole philosophy is that you can marry Western medicine with natural ways of healing the body. So you have to respect what a doctor does and then you respect what nature does. So I wanted to get a true diagnosis of what's going on with me. So I went to the dermatologist, they ran blood tests, blood work, they look at your hormones, everything. And after all the examination, he said I had what they call CCCA. I won't bore you with the long name. It's scarring alopecia. Um, and the diagnosis was the scars, like the alopecia would start at the crown where it was, and it would continue to spread throughout my head. That was in 2012. Let me turn around. I
wow.
have like a thick afro in the back, so it didn't spread, thank God. So it started at the stop, it scars, and once the follicles scar, there's no hair that's gonna grow out of that, right?
Mm,
I was devastated when I got the diagnosis.
I
He
bet.
started my hair and took pictures because once they start treatment, they want to have a picture of where you started. So I have pictures of where I was. And he basically prescribed steroid creams, antibiotic pills to take every day, which I'm sure a lot of people who deal with acne have been given those pills. You basically taking antibiotics every day. You have a steroid cream, and then he did prescribe Rogaine for women, et cetera, et cetera. So I reached out to a lot of my friends. I had a good friend of mine who's really a hair guru, and basically she told me you can try the Rogaine. Once you stop using it, whatever hair you grew is gonna fall out. And when I did do the Rogaine, I had hair grow all over my face, no matter how careful I was not to put it anywhere but the spots.
Wow.
I had I had baby hair all over my face. It was insane. The steroid cream, it messed with my body in a lot of ways. And then of course, as a woman, taking in antibiotics, a broad range antibiotic every day is horrible for your flora, horrible for your body. So you will destroy your gut
The good bacteria.
microbes. It's not good. So I did it for 9 months because I wanted to follow doctor's orders first before I did anything else. And after 9 months of seeing no real progress in my hair, and then I was basically putting all these chemicals that I wasn't comfortable putting in my body, I stopped and said, let me try a holistic way of treating myself. I'm a chemical engineer by training, so I did a lot of research in essential oils, and I came up with a formula of a jojoba, grapeseed, and a blend of essential oils that is antimicrobial, basically kills any kind of antifungal and stimulates your follicles. And I started seeing results. And I have to add that in addition to having the oil, I started taking supplements to reduce inflammation in your body because a lot of the time when you have hair loss, there's inflammation that is manifesting itself. So I started taking certain supplements, which I recently wrote a blog post about ways to reduce inflammation in the body. And then, of course,
Awesome.
hair vitamins. So I started helping myself and I started seeing results, and I was able to stop the progression of my hair loss. And the prognosis the prognosis was that I was supposed to be basically almost bald by now. But if you look at me, if you see my little fro, like I can still wear my hair and not have to resort to any kind of prosthetics, which is what I wanted. Not there's anything wrong with that, but this I wanted that freedom. And then I started speaking to women who were dealing with hair loss that you would never know about, women in my own family, women that I was eating dinner with that I didn't know underneath whatever style they were wearing, they were dealing with hair loss.
Wow.
So I started making the oil for them, and then I was encouraged by my friends to make it for to sell. And then I remember my best friend saying, "Oh, you should sell this oil," and I said, "No, this is my hobby. Once my hobby become a business, it's no longer fun. I just kind of want to make it for my friends." And I just didn't. And I think sometimes when you really like doing something, you're afraid to take it to that arena because you feel like it's so serious. But I listened to the advice of people who were close to me and my gut, and then I started making it for others. um,
Absolutely.
yes, I don't know if I should keep going.
So stop right there. I have a couple
Yes,
questions for you
yes,
before you go
yes.
on.
I'm like telling
So,
my whole life
so
story.
first, so first, thank you. I appreciate for your being so candid because I know that, I mean, hair loss. I know I have people in my family as well who suffer from hair loss. So I know, and actually, I had like I think women, any woman who has probably had children has had hair loss because
Yes,
that's part of the
postpartum.
process.
Yeah, yeah,
So postpartum, I also had a lot of hair loss, and I mean, it grew back, so it didn't become a thing, but it's still embarrassing
hmm
nonetheless, and it's still a, it's still something that it affects your life in some ways, and you're
yes,
wondering like,
yes,
what's gonna happen, right? So I know that it's hard when you're even talking to people in your own family, right?
yes,
That
yes,
they're going through things and they never like to talk about it. So I kind of want to shine a light on this disease as well because it happens, and I
yes,
agree with you, like it is caused by, sometimes, not always, right? They talk about genetics, they talk about all this and that, but often it's
yes,
caused by your own personal lifestyle. So
yes,
things that cause inflammation in your body don't only
yes,
just cause hair loss, they cause disease, they cause
yes,
stress,
yes,
it leads to all these different things. So
yes. And
but
hair loss has so many different ways it can. That's why you have to find out the cause of it at a doctor. So the one that I was diagnosed is called CCCA is very common in Black women, mainly because of traumatic hairstyle practices, meaning hairstyle that pull on our roots, as in braids, weaves, locks, which I had where I was sitting under the dryer for a long time with my hair twisted. So that's called traumatic hairstyling, chemical treatments, coloring, perms,
yeah,
basically inflame your follicles to the point where now you start losing your hair. So that is something, once you find that out, if you stop what you're doing there and then you start treating, you have a good chance of keeping your hair. There are hair
yeah,
loss that are caused by autoimmune disease. There's so many causes, so you just have to find out what it is. But postpartum, I've helped women with postpartum, help them recover from their loss. I've dealt with the same thing after I had my child, so I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So tell me a little bit about, because I'm a massage therapist, so I have to
Yes,
know.
yes,
And we're going to show you guys a demo at the end of
yes,
this because I want her
yes,
to show you her oils, and I also want to show her to show you how she uses it.
yes,
So how did you come up with the idea of using the oils and doing the massage? Because first of all, massage, so many different things I can talk
yes,
about massage.
yes. Of course,
Like
you're a massage therapist.
it
Yeah,
helps with inflammation, it helps with circulation. I mean, it
yes,
helps with so many different
yes,
things, but it also stimulates
yes,
the
yes.
area. So
Yes.
talk about that. Talk about that.
So, like you said, massage is like magic, right? So, massaging your scalp is very important because, for one thing, you have your skin produces sebum, which is like your natural oil.
Yep.
And sometimes when we have a style where we don't really touch ourselves or touch our scalp, it really becomes that was funny the way I said it, but um
We
your skin
understand.
becomes so tight, your skin become tight, and there's no movement, like the oil is not, you're not moving the oil throughout your scalp. That's the first thing. The second thing is, when you massage, you increase circulation around the follicles to bring nutrients to the follicles. So it's really, even if you did nothing, if you didn't add any products, if you didn't buy any products for your hair and you massage your scalp often, maybe every day. You could be sitting watching TV and you just massage your scalp. It's very easy. You could be sitting doing anything, you
Yeah.
massage your scalp. Even just that alone is going to yield results. I have a close family friend who was losing her hair, and she met someone, maybe it was a massage therapist, but who specializes in head massages. And the
Mm,
woman started massaging her scalp for her. And from that alone, she started seeing new growths.
yep.
So with no product. So just to show you, if you couple that with oil that actually stimulates your follicles, wake them up, that has peppermint, that also treat any kind of inflammation or infection you may have that you
Yep.
cannot see with your naked eye, you have exponentially increased your possibility for
Absolutely.
seeing results.
Yes. But first things first, definitely get it checked by a doctor,
Yes.
and see what's going on, to
Yes.
see what the cause, what they think the
Yes.
cause might be before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay. So before we get to the product and all the delicious things you put in it, let's
Yes.
talk a little bit more about you. And I know that, I mean, obviously it's kind of traumatic when, you go through this situation and it comes all of a sudden, you didn't know it was there. All of a sudden you're losing your hair. It's crazy, right?
Yes.
So what inspired you to keep moving in your journey and not just like give up, right? Like, did you have people that inspired you, teachers, peers, friends? Like, who kept you going?
Um, I would say that I mean, there's a woman in my life, my mother. She's here right now. She's like helping me with, just in case she didn't go to bed on
Hi,
time.
Mom.
Yeah, I know she's walking around here. She's a powerhouse, and my mother is just very strong, very determined woman. So she's like my biggest inspiration. Um, I tell people I have perspective. So even though I live in the U.S., I've basically have a good life, but I am constantly connected to people who do way more with less. So I always feel like that's nothing.
Yeah.
And I remember, like just any kind of situation. I remember having a talk with my niece when she was going to college and she was stressing about getting accepted. And then I said, just always remember where we come from. There's people where we come from who don't have like clean water to drink. So if you don't get accepted to your top choice of college, I mean in the United States of America, that's nothing. Like we're not going to die over that. So it's just that I always bring perspective into everything. So I have so many tools available to me to be successful that people would dream of having. So why would I give up for something so small like I'm losing my hair? Why don't I just use my knowledge to find a solution that helps me?
Yeah.
So I have this amazing breadth of perspective from my life and my family, and it just always keeps me going.
Absolutely. Love it. So first, let me say thank you, Mom,
Yes,
and all the family members and all the history, right? Like all the ancestors and who
yes,
brought us all these delicious, remedies that helped us along the way, but also empowered us along the way, right?
yes,
So if you guys have any questions for Garonne, please feel free to post them and I'll ask them as we go.
yes, yes,
I'll post up your questions.
hmm
So how do you continue to master this passion of yours? Because now you have the product. So now,
yes.
now what?
So this is the thing. So I have products for to encourage healthy hair, right? That's what I call it. It's not just a hair loss product. It's a product that because healthy hair starts at the scalp. So I have the shampoo, I have the conditioner, I have a line. I'm trying to build a line more. But really, my overall goal is not just to make hair products. It's really to empower people in general to be an agent in their own health. So when I did my LLC for my company, I call it Sankofa Empowerment. And Sankofa is basically means go back and fetch it. All the knowledge we need right now is actually there in the past. You just have to go back and fetch it. And I
Absolutely.
found that through conversation with different people, I don't know if it's society or the fear factor or just the way capitalism is set up. They've taken ourselves that here we know what's good for us, that we know what's right for our health. We can be an agent in our own health. So when we go to the doctor, sometimes we just sit there and we don't even participate in our own care. So I want to empower people to be knowledgeable, to participate in their own care, to not just hear the information, but just to feel empowered to go find it themselves. So I blog a lot about different health topics that people might be interested in. Um, it doesn't have to be about hair. I just recently blogged about inflammation in the body. Sometimes I blog about having a plant-based diet. Um, I blog about just you taking ownership of your own health. So you use the tools and the professionals available to you to help you along the way, but you are like an agent in your own health. So that's so because I make it my job to empower you. I have to always be learning and reading about obscure thing that you wouldn't read, and then translate that in a way that you can actually digest it and go use it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I have to keep myself informed every day.
Absolutely. And there's like, new herbs and new things that we've never seen before, or like that we didn't know about before,
Yes,
that can be
yes,
used too, right? And actually there's a lot of things, a lot of plants, plant life and things like that
yes,
live in other countries that we can't grow here.
yes, yes,
That
of
you can
course.
always import, right? So there's always something to learn. It's absolutely true. Which is why
Yes,
doctors are always learning, right? Even massage
yes,
therapists, we have to continue doing
yes,
continuing education.
yes. But what you learn is that nutrition is the basis for everything.
Uh-oh. Can you see
Did
me?
you cut off? Yeah, I
Yeah.
see you.
I lost you for a second there. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was saying like nutrition is such an important part of our lives, for example, but how many times do you go to a physician and they talk about nutrition? It's not really their fault only, it's our fault because we don't really, we're not willing to like take that as part of our conversation with our
Yeah.
doctor. So
Well, I think people are also sometimes, not often, but I mean, not all the time, but very quick to like ask for a quick pill fix.
yes, yes,
Some kind of quick fix to, oh,
yes,
just let me grow my hair back. Just I'll figure out the healthy way
yes,
later.
yes, yes,
Grow this
exactly.
back for me now. So, sometimes the long road, the
Yes.
longer road
It's
is
a
the better road,
journey.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, so now that you are where you are and you've launched this business, and I'm first of all, I commend you because, you guys, I don't know if you heard it in the beginning, but she left corporate America to build this company, which is her dream. And she's now helping all these women, and she's got her product in all these different places. So it's absolutely serving us women, men, even like everyone, anyone who has any kind of issues like this. So what do you think are like one or a couple of like beliefs or patterns that you notice that limit people from really pursuing it? And I know you talked a little bit about yours in the beginning, but what do you think really limits people, and what has limited you in the past?
Um, I realize there are a couple of things that limit people. The first thing is that you have you have people around you that you trust and you love, and you trust them with your innermost desires and your goals and your dreams. And what we have to learn is that people can be the best. They're only giving us the best that they have at that time, and they will project their own fears onto you in very subconscious and subtle ways that will make you rethink about taking a jump. So a lot of people, it has nothing to do with what they want to do. It has to do with the fact that they are getting the negative messages that makes them feel like they can't do this. This is crazy. What are you thinking? I mean, I get this sometimes from speaking to random people, like not even people close to me. I'll be talking to someone and I say, oh, by the way, I'm doing this. And they're like, and it's just something so to someone that really could make them think, wow, maybe I'm not doing the right thing. So you have to constantly be number one. You have to believe in yourself more than anybody else believe in you. And if you want to do something, you have to be a little crazy. If you want to be a business person,
The
there has to
best
be a little,
things come out of crazy.
you have to have a little crazy in you because it is crazy. Because you know what I do? I walk into a like a herbalist shop. I did 4 in Harlem, 4 in Brooklyn last week. I walk in there and I sell my product and I talk to them and I say, hey, I have this product that you want to have on your shelf, and this is why.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit nuts. Someone feel like they may need do you know the owner? Did you have an appointment with them? No. I catch their attention, and most of the time I get really positive feedback. And then that's how I've gotten my product in some places that you wouldn't even think for me to get them there. I don't have any contact. I don't know anyone. So this you have to be a little bit crazy. So that's the belief is like sometimes we
Yeah.
don't believe in ourselves enough. That's the number one thing. And the second thing is
And it's
I'm
also
sorry, you.
serving a need, right? Because I mean,
Yes.
I don't see any products out there that do what yours does. I've
I
never
mean,
heard of that. So
there people there are a lot of products that promise to help, but they're like full of chemicals, and then they don't really give the long-term effect. Um, and the other thing about it is that if you have a natural product, and you don't have $1 million, you're not going to be able to do clinical trials. So I'm never going to put on my bottles that this is for hair loss or hair growth, because I will be in trouble for doing that. So a lot of products can help you sometimes, or can be formulated to help you, but because the money is not behind that company to go and do trials, so they can't do it. They
right.
can't really put the product out there.
Right. Yeah, because technically you have to have clinical trials in order to show
Yes.
that your product solves a problem.
Yes, yes. So it's always, I always write on my blog, this product is not to diagnose, treat any disease in the states that have not been approved by the FDA, just
Yeah.
because there's that rule
Right.
of
Right.
doing clinical trials. Yeah.
So we have a comment here from Janita. She says, "Awesome. I'm currently losing a lot of hair and I have about a month using castor oil and rosemary. I'm glad to see this.
That's
Awesome."
nice. Yeah, castor oil and rosemary are really good for, rosemary is very good for hair loss as well. Make sure, tell her to dilute the rosemary and make sure it's not too strong so she doesn't burn herself.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And castor oil, I mean, that's just good for a lot of things.
Yes, yes.
I use it for massage too. I sometimes put a couple drops in massage.
Hmm.
All right, so we're going to get to your product in a minute. But the last thing I want to talk about with you is, I mean, I want to say like when the shit hits the fan, and I mean, it happened for you already when you first started noticing that you were losing your hair, right?
Hmm.
But I'm sure that there have been moments along the way, even after that, as you've been
Hmm.
producing the product, as you've been selling the product, as you've been talking to people
Hmm.
about it, all these different things where you're like, oh my God, right? What do
Hmm.
you recommend for people to do, and what have you done, to help you continue to pursue this dream of yours?
So always remember the why you started, because the why never goes away, right? So for me, so I'll get to the why. The first thing is you have to always celebrate your wins. Keep a record of all the positive things that's happened since you started your journey. And whenever you have a day where it's really bad, just go back and look at all the wins, and maybe read over all the wins, all the moments where you made progress or you learned something
Yeah.
that shows that, to remind yourself that you're not where you started. So even though today was a bad day, you like way further than where you were in the beginning. That's number one. Number two, I was doing this as a quote unquote a hobby, even if I started the company in 2015, because I was working corporate America and I'm a mom. I have a 17-month-old. So the time between corporate America and my child, I didn't really have much time to really invest in this. But I realized something, that I told myself I wanted a different lifestyle for myself now as a mom, because I wanted to spend quality time with my daughter. So in addition to helping people, the personal why is also another personal why, is that I want to turn my passion into profit so that I can have a different lifestyle. And I've defined success for myself in my own way, which is to have extra to do the things that I want to do with my child, and then be doing something that makes me happy, not necessarily to make loads of money per se. So I always remember the why, like what is it that I want. So you
Absolutely.
when you write your wins, and sometimes when something good happens, you celebrate them. It's kind of like when you read about experiments with lab experiments to encourage a behavior. They will take you're gonna laugh, they will take a mouse or a rat or whichever, and they will like give it a piece of chocolate whenever it does something they want, and then like zap it when it does something they don't want. So I basically give myself a piece of chocolate, which is flowers or something nice, that like maybe a yoga class, whenever I basically work hard and I do something. So I want to keep doing these things so that I can keep rewarding myself, however small ways.
Absolutely. Love it. I think that's cultural too, because I do it. My mom does it. It must be cultural.
Really? Like you
I
get
don't
yourself
know.
something nice?
Oh, I do all the time. I have like my comfort list, and
Yes.
like going out dancing, buy myself dinner. Like I treat myself really good.
I love it. Yes. Yes, I love it. So I'm trying to do a lot of that now because I feel like I need, and it doesn't have to cost money, but it could be something you like
Yeah,
doing that you do whenever you do something really well.
absolutely. Even like watching your favorite show. Like at the end of a
Yes.
long day, I'll sit and I'm like, I'm a geek just like you are. So like I'll watch Star
Yes.
Trek at 10 o'clock at night when my son's asleep.
It's like a
You
guilty
know?
pleasure.
Yeah, it's totally a guilty pleasure. So whatever you can do, right?
Yes.
All right. So we have a question here. And actually, we're just about to get to your product. Actually, one more question. What do you recommend for people who want to pursue their dreams? Like, what do you say to people who are like, a step behind you, so to speak, because you've already launched yourself. You're already,
Hmm.
you're over the corporate America life.
Yes.
What would you tell people now that, who they have a product or they have a vision, they have whatever that is for them? What would you tell
So,
them?
so I would say is you have to keep the dream alive no matter how small in small ways. So be flexible, which means you working full time, you don't have a lot of time to spend on your dream. Maybe you could really schedule nighttime weekends to work on it even for 1 hour because it really is tough to work for 2 3 hours after you've given your mental capacity to 8 or 9 hour job, because I know sometimes you just need to veg out. So even if it took 1 hour for you to work on it at night, just do 1 hour, schedule 1 hour, and then be
Absolutely.
part of entrepreneur clubs, where you meet with other entrepreneurs. That alone will keep you motivated because you'll see people who are just like you, who have jobs, who have families, who have the same responsibilities you have, but for some reason they find a way to keep their dream alive. And then you find out from them tips and tricks on how to like keep it going. And then the other thing, you have to have a plan. So you could say, you know what is it that I'm gonna cut? Am I gonna cut to save money, basically, like to save money so one day you can actually go and work on your dream? So what is it that I'm gonna cut in my life right now so I could save money so that at some point I can make the leap? And then sometimes it's not a whole load of money, it's just enough to get you going. And the third thing is, if you are there are a lot of programs for small businesses, women businesses, where we have an accelerator program that actually help finances you in some way to really jumpstart your dream. I haven't gotten into that because um, I'm doing this on my own now, but I'm looking into accelerated programs myself so that um, don't think, and that's the thing, I'm going to say this for minority, because for minority women in general, we bootstrap to our own demise. Bootstrap as in we try to build our own business from scratch by ourselves, and then we run the risk of failing because we don't really use others' resources. Like, use other people's money if you can, which means it's go out there and find accelerator programs that are willing to, sometimes they'll finance you for equity, sometimes they'll finance you for very small equity, 6 to 7%, if you have a great idea, and they will push you to the top. Because not every, like me personally, because I want the ingredients and the integrity of what I'm building to stay under my control for a long time. I really don't want to give anyone equity at this time because I want to craft my own products. I don't want someone to tell me what
Absolutely.
ingredients to put in them. But if you have a product that is not that kind of um, in that arena, and that you can afford to have other folks own pieces of it, go find the funding so you could quit your job and work on this amazing idea, because we don't think
Absolutely.
that this stuff exists, but other people actually are tapping into these resources and building businesses
You're
every
right.
day.
There's a lot of help for small business owners and
Yeah.
minority business owners too.
Yes. Yes.
And also, I just wanted to add one more thing because you said, basically like joining clubs that are for entrepreneurs.
Yes.
You have friends like, you're my friend.
Yeah. Yes.
And you have friends who are in business. And actually, this year, especially this year, I've made it a conscious effort, and probably you have as well, since you're
Yes.
really you're really doing this thing to make, not just to make them because they're business people, but because they're friends of yours who are really doing something in their lives.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so I made it a point this year to really connect and spend time, not just like, hey, every 6 months, like, hey, you know, I want to talk to you like once a month. I want to see what you're doing, you know?
Yes.
That's kind
Yes.
of one of the reasons why I started this whole video series,
Yes.
because I want to show that people are doing it out there, and, you know, it can be done, and you just have to connect. You have to put yourself out there, you know, it's absolutely possible, right? All right, we have a question here from Thomasina, which actually we're about to talk about it anyway. So good call, Thomasina. She says, I'll put it up here. What about the ingredients? If they are found to be effective, can the specific ingredients be marketed? So let's get into it. Let's talk about like the ingredients that your products has.
So I will talk about the ingredients. The first ingredient is grapeseed oil, which is an oil that even dermatologists, the dermatologist friend, I went to Columbia with him who sells my oil at his office, recommends that oil as an anti-inflammatory in products for his patient. He has his own white label products. He has it. Jojoba oil is one of the second ingredient, which is like the oil that is closest to the oil that your sebum, so it's light and it's absorbed by your hair. One of the only oils that actually your hair absorb. So those are the two carrier oils. Whenever you use essential oils, they have to be diluted in a carrier oil because essential oils are very strong and can burn your skin if they're not diluted properly. So the carrier oil are grapeseed and jojoba, which have great properties. And then the other ingredients are lemongrass. I know the top of my head, I don't have to read the bottle. Lemongrass, which is the top note. I was very careful in selecting the percentage of the oils because I wanted the oil to smell amazing. Because if you have a hair oil that smells, you know, a little strong, you're not going to use it. Okay, nobody want to lay next to their boo, and then he's like, "What is that smell?" Smells amazing. People rub it on their skin. I put it on. People are like, "What are you wearing?" Right? So lemongrass is the top note. Then you have eucalyptus, you have peppermint, you have grapefruit oil, and then let me see if I'm missing one. Yes, I think those are the oils, right? And all these oils are anti-inflammatory. They stimulate your follicles. They antifungal. Why is antifungal anti-inflammatory? For example, women who wear weaves, right, can first of all, when they sweat, the sweat stays to their scalp and is covered. There is opportunity for fungal growth to happen for them not to even know it. So now when you remove this weave, you just go, they shampoo you really quick with a regular shampoo. That doesn't take away the fungus infection. Once you start using this oil, then you start really treating that as well. It's not something or helping to treat that, I should say, because if you have a true scalp infection, you should go to the doctor, which they're going to give you pills, right? Which is what they do for acne or anything like that. Now, when you are using the oil, it actually treats a lot of help your scalp heal in that way, and then that's how your growth starts.
Absolutely.
And
So
there is research showing how the essential oils have these. There's actual research by the Science Foundation.
yeah, so actually Thomasina's asking that question. So if testing found the ingredients to be effective, can you market with these specific ingredients? And I think you are marketing with those ingredients, right? So
Well, I can't market my oil to say that it's I'm marketing my oil to say that it's something to for healthy scalp, to
right.
promote, stimulate growth and promote healthy hair, and that's really the way you should market beauty products, because you can't market beauty products to treat a condition because it's not a drug. No matter
Right.
what, even though there is research showing these essential oils have these properties, the same way supplements are marketed to help. You know, we have supplements like I take supplements that are like, for example, Zyflamin, which I take, which has all the natural anti-inflammatory like ginger, oregano, etc. On a bottle, it says promote joint health, but it can't be marketed to solve a joint issue, for
Right.
example.
Right, right. So you have to be careful with how you say it.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Very important.
All
So,
right.
yeah.
So show us how to use this baby.
Okay. So this is, yeah, I have an oil that I actually opened already, but I'll open another one. I'm not gonna get up and go get the other one. So the oil comes with the little top, right, which makes it easy.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna keep this one so I could keep talking. So, um, it's very light. You don't need a lot. So I will just part my hair like, and right? And I will do this all over my head, and I massage. I give myself a nice little massage all
So
over
how
my
often?
head.
How often do you do this?
I I recommend someone who has itchiness, scalp dryness, or any kind of hair loss to do this every 2 days, every 2 to 3 days. If you don't like oil in your hair, you should do it first of all, it smells amazing. Why wouldn't you want to just be light with it? Don't overdo it and you pour all this oil on your head like my that used it says she loves it so much. She pours too much. So you massage your scalp with the oil for 30 minutes before you shampoo.
Okay. I
Right?
was
So if
gonna
you
say
shampoo your hair
you
often,
should shampoo it off, yeah. Because like
you don't
for
have to
my
shampoo
hair,
it.
I need some oil, but I can't put too much oil or it gets greasy.
Yes. Yes, I don't shampoo it out because I don't mind. I have a fro, doesn't matter for me to have. But if you don't like oil in your hair, even though it's really light, you could use it for your ends. You can use it for your ends. You can use it to just massage your scalp. And if you're the person who says, I don't want oil in my hair at all, so you massage it in the night before you go to the hairdresser or before you shampoo your hair, you still get the benefits of it. Because technically, like it can be a pre-wash or it can be an oil that's used every day. It smells amazing. Sometimes I put it on after I shower,
Mm-hmm.
and it's nice. Like right when you fresh out the shower, you put a little bit. Like it goes a long way while you're still damp, and you lock in the moisture on your skin. I've had folks who had really their skin cracks in the winter, their legs, and they use it for body oils as well.
Yeah, those
So that's
ingredients are really good for body oil. Yep.
yeah. So this is the other products I have, right, which people love, right? So the shampoo is a scalp shampoo, but if you know it's a shampoo that actually really treats your scalp. But if you know a lot of scalp shampoos, let me just get it close here. They actually strip the hair of the oils. I don't know if you've ever tried them, the
Yep.
medicated one. This doesn't, and it provides a lot of slip, and your hair feels strong afterwards while you get that tingly feeling on your scalp. The conditioner is a deep conditioning mask. It's a protein conditioner. So if you get blowouts, your hair will be so shiny and strong. It has nettle and silica extracts, horsetail and nettle extracts for your hair to make your hair much stronger. The reason why I created this conditioner is because most people who deal with hair loss, where they're losing the hair, it's very brittle and dry, and you need something that actually straightens the hair that grows out of that spot. Because when you first start growing hair
Okay.
from alopecia, it's very brittle and is very weak. So I wanted to create something that makes it stronger, and people love the conditioner. It's very thick, it's very luscious. And I have
Awesome.
about a couple of hair salons now that use it as a treatment for when they do flat iron or silk presses.
Yes. Oh, so good. Awesome. So tell us where these where they can find it. Like where can they get these products now?
So my products are sold on my website. They also sold at Afrosia here in Brooklyn, Grand Champ Restaurant in Brooklyn. Um, uh, a couple of hair salon in New Jersey, Sheer Bliss Hair and Spa. But really, the best place for you to get it like quickly from me is from the website. I'm not sure if you posted the link or should I?
I'm about to post it right now.
Yes, I have a shop on my Shopify, and if you go to my Instagram, which is the Ronnie shop, the link on my bio takes you directly to my website, which I also have blog posts coming out of there weekly or bi-weekly. And if you sign up for my mailing list, you get my blog posts, which are not just about hair, but are different topics at the time that I feel like that you might want to read about for your overall health, because that's really what I am trying to do, empower people to be um, an acting like an agent in their own healing,
Yes,
in their own health.
absolutely. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So this is where you guys can find it. She's also on Instagram at the Ronnie Shop, and she's also on Facebook as the Ronnie Shop.
Ronnie, yeah.
So awesome. Does anyone have any questions you guys want to ask her about hair, trauma, loss, products, anything you want to ask her about the products she created? Anything at all before we head out of here? I'm so excited about this product just because, I mean, for so many reasons. I love natural products, but also it's like such a earthy way to address such a prevalent issue, because I know a lot of women experience it, right? So it's such a nice, grounded, natural way to address it rather than pills and easy fixes and, So guys, try to go the route of the natural route, like go that route if you can. So, okay. So guys, she's on Ronnie Shop on Shopify. I put the URL in there. And Garonne, any last thoughts before we head out of here?
Thank you for having me, Teany, and thank you everyone who joined. I hope my words inspired you in some way tonight.
Yes. Thank you guys for joining. If you have any questions, feel free to continue to comment below, or you can contact Ronnie directly at her website and purchase her products. This is such an honor, such an honor. Thank you so much for joining me and for having, the courage, I would say, to express your story and tell us how you got through it, because that's what this is all about, and turning it into something that you're passionate about. So that's what this program is all about. So thank you guys for joining. This is Sanese Wellness Academy with Teany Hidalgo, with your Purpose with Passion series, encouraging you to discover your passions because they will lead you to your purpose. Feel free to contact me on Facebook, on Instagram, on sanesewellness.com, and book a time to chat with me and get on my show. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.